So hey guys, today I want to build a ritual deck and I want to just build it as pretty much just pure ritual and see what we can kind of come up with. So one of the things I don't want to do specifically is I don't want to use Drytron, and the reasoning behind this is pretty simple. So a thing I don't really like about the Drytron cards, like I mean they're fine in general, but there's a restriction in every single Drytron monster. You cannot special summon monsters except monsters that cannot be normal summoned slash set the turn you activate this effect. You can still normal summon them, but you cannot special summon them. So the one issue with this is if I were to be playing specifically Diviner, as the one downside of if I was to want if I were to want to resolve the effect of Diviner right here, this one, you can special summon one level 2 or lower fairy monster from your hand or deck, except Diviner of the Herald. This effect essentially can't summon anything, so that kind of sucks. And of course, I do want to summon something off of that effect of Diviner, so let's take a look at what targets we have. So we need specifically to be level 2 or lower, sure. And it has to be a fairy monster, the attribute doesn't matter. Okay. So, fairy. And all of these are technically targets for divining. So we have Mucky Mucky, we could special summon that. Okay. But what's probably the best target here, I guess? Probably just going to be low, I think. That's very good. We could technically do Curly as well. Curly is a decent option, actually. And we'll consider that later. Right now, for me, it's in between one of those two, I guess. Probably between low and uh, for a Lily, probably. Looking at all the targets. Not seeing anything like too interesting. Except for maybe no material. If we could return this to the hand, this would be not good because we have to control no cards actually. Yeah, that's not even resolvable. Kinda, right? Yeah. We have an N-word of some sort. Would be annoying if we could get the full out. We could get Despian Tragedy, which is actually interesting. I never realized this, but this is a fairy that you can summon off of if you tribute the Diviner. Tragedy, you could special summon this. We also have the potential to special summon Mace if we were playing like Memento. So that's cool, I guess. Wait, is that a fairy Grebo? Huh. Well, okay. For the time being, I guess we'll go with low. And the reasoning behind going with low is because if we were to just special summon low, this is essentially kind of full combo-ish for Voiceless Voice. So in this case, I want to play probably just one copy of low. And then, let's see, this adds from the deck only. So we'll at least grab enough cards to loop, I guess. And we'll also have to check this card. Send one ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard. This can be any ritual spell, so we don't need to actually run prayers at all. And also, what does this ritual summon? Any light ritual monster. Or not any light ritual monster. It has to be a warrior or dragon, actually. Odd, but okay. So prayers has one useful effect, I guess. If your guy gets removed by specifically a card effect, you can float into something else, but we don't really care about that here, honestly. Blessing. We can grab Blessing. And then this targets specifically a voiceless voice card that is either banished or in the graveyard. And we can pair this with, I guess it'll be Radiance. And then that's all we need, honestly, from this. What was this do? This special summons, this allows you to cheat out like a Saravis, which we're not going to care about. The only time we would want to play Prayers of the Voiceless Voice is if we want to pre-prep. So we don't need that. So if we're playing alongside another ritual deck, this is all we would need. So alright, to make this work, I want probably Benten. And now the main thing I want is to be able to tribute the Benten. So it just needs to be something that tributes from hand, which is awkward. What effect can tribute actually? We want some sort of tributing effect. But that's the tribute from hand. So maybe we add the word hand with tribute. And of course, nothing will come up here, unfortunately. This is a light ritual, but we can't actually special summon this with any of these cards, unfortunately. Wait. Any light ritual monster. If you ritual summon exactly one light ritual monster, warrior or dragon. So that doesn't actually fully work. Okay. So if we wanted to tribute Diviner, that's not that hard to do, right? There's several ways we could go about this. But if we want to make just a very ritual-based deck, what I wanted to do specifically was I wanted the Vendred cards specifically. So the Vendred cards actually have insane anti-synergy with the Drytron cards. So the issue with these two different archetypes is that, well, you want to be special summoning or normal summoning your well, actually not really normal summoning, but you want to special summon your Vendred monsters because well, you want to put these guys on the field and then tribute them for a ritual summon. That's kind of the mechanic, and then you gain effects, right? So no synergy with the Drytron cards in that case. And you do also have the ability to search a Venten with Battle Lord. So right here, if this ritual summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand, and then send a Vendred monster. So in this case, we would typically want to add Benten, and then Benten, if we tribute this, allows us to grab Diviner. And that's the general idea. And I guess we'll just throw in one charge for fun. And then Revenus Vendred is decent. Run like two of those for the time being, I guess. Yeah, that should be most of the things we need here. We could play more copies of the Evolution, I guess. But yeah, pre-prep as well. Creation of Rites, does this help? Add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. Well, this isn't like terrible. But yeah, essentially what I want to be doing though is if we have Diviner, what we can do with Diviner is if we have Diviner, we should be able to attribute this for like a Revendred Slayer. If we were to start with a Diviner, right? And then we contribute the Diviner, special summon low, and then this will allow us to get access to Skull Guardian. And then Skull Guardian is just at the very least an Omni Negate, and also some of our cards can't be targeted because of the barrier. Let's see. While you control low and a light ritual monster, your opponent's monsters can only target. Also, your opponent cannot target light monsters you control with crit effects. Not all of them will be light, but that's fine. because there's nothing you can target against Vendred except for like a Vendred Savior. But alright. If we do have the Vendred cards, we can kind of search Diviner and then we kind of tribute the Diviner. And then that would allow us to kind of, I guess, get an Omni Negate. And then we can also make our entire board untargetable, making it really obnoxious, I guess. So Omni Negate plus a couple banish removals, I think, is pretty solid, considering your board's untargetable. And also, you have to do battle with a really large guy. That's kind of the idea behind this deck, at least, I guess. And in terms of non-engine, we have like an okay amount of non-engine space. So we have Ash Blossom, called by Imperm, and then that's like solid enough. Consistency wise, I'm not really sure if this is going to be like the best deck, but you know, we do require some extra deck slots to do whatever it is we need to do here, but it should be fine. And is this actually a tribute effect on charge? Sent. No. Let's see. And test. This is not really playable. And all of the voiceless voice cards here are kind of bricks, which isn't great. But we can get some good hands. Like here we have Diviner plus free prep. That's like beyond full combo. I guess we could cut like, if we want to make this a little bit more consistent, we should cut Blessing and also Radiance. If we have this, this is only a pop 1, essentially. So it's not even that good. We don't really need this, actually. There's no recursion here. We could keep Blessing, I guess. Okay. Yep. So, if we have Blessing, what does Blessing actually do for us? Well, the assumption here is that you're not actually outing anything, though. So we don't need Blessing either. These are kind of just bricks, so we can cut them. We really do want to see some of these cards, though. In terms of normal summons, we want normal summon to be for the Diviner, though. So that's awkward. But yeah, general idea, I think it's still correct. I'm not 100% sure what the ratios on Benton either. We don't need that many copies of Benton, actually. The only search targets we have are Diviner and Low. If we had additional targets for Benton, it might be worth. Well, then we'd still cut Benton and just run those guys instead, actually. So we saved ourselves a little bit more extra, well, main deck space. And we'll just go throw in, I guess, 3 of some card. Here, I guess we'll just, for fun, we'll just do Ghost Spell. And now we have a little bit better going second ability. I think we do. Do we need 3 copies of Origin? I think we could make do with like 2 and then increase evolution by 1. That might be a little bit better. Situational though. This hand is like really good though. Normal summon, Diviner, and then we also have Benton, right? Which can add us another Diviner for next turn. That's mostly what this is going to be doing for us here, which is not bad. But yeah. This is the basic idea I have for now. I mean, we could probably make something better. If we were to just incorporate Diviner into a deck, we could do quite a lot with just the Diviner, for example. We could do Diviner to send Herald of Arclight. It's not going to be good for this deck, but then we can grab Illusion of Chaos. And then Illusion of Chaos allows you to grab Magician Souls. And you can also put back Illusion of Chaos, so we're going to assume maybe we're only running one Illusion of Chaos. Who knows? One, two, whatever. And then we can add Magician Souls, which can special summon itself by sending Illusion of Chaos. And then we have just these guys, right? And this allows us to also make a Synchro 7. So level 6 Diviner. And we have level 1 Magician Souls, so that's level 7, which allows us to make a few targets. Depends on exactly what you need, I guess. But we could go like Shooting Riser to send Banshee, for example. That's a possibility. And also, this could be special summoned from the graveyard and sent to the graveyard via Sprint and Elf. And this could also be searched with Venten, potentially if we're able to tribute Venten somehow. So this is like very, very searchable, actually. And this mentions Machine Angel Ritual, so if you want to specifically grab this, you could pre-prep for this. This actually has some generic protection, which might be relevant for something. But, yeah. If we were playing these cards together, we could then also go into low after we tribute Diviner, potentially, which is kind of interesting. But, yeah, if we were to at least, if we were playing only Diviner, it would be Synchro 7, and then we could potentially, it depends on exactly what you're playing, I guess, if it's relevant or not, Magician Soul's effect to send some cards. And then this is going to be able to draw you some cards. If we're playing Dark Magician as a Garnet, we also have the idea of special summoning Dark Magician with Magician Souls, so we have levels. Well, here in this case, it would be 6 plus 7. But actually, this can special summon Dark Magician Girl as well, which is level 6. So you have the option here of going into either a Synchro 12 or Synchro that'd be 13. Is there a Synchro 13 that's actually worth making? I don't think so. But in terms of Synchro 12s, there should be something, right? Yeah, there's no Synchro 13, so we wouldn't be playing Dark Magician, I guess, in this specific case, and we would instead go for Synchro 12 instead. So we could make some of these guys potentially go combo. So I think it'd be alright to make a Crimson Dragon's fine, potentially. What does Crimson Dragon add? These don't really seem to do anything, right? Oh wait, there's no hard ones return on this. Is it? You can remove 4, 7, or 10 signal counters from your field to apply the appropriate effect. Special summon a tuner from your graveyard. Special summon 1 synchro monster from graveyard. Increase or decrease the level of 1 face-up monster controlled by 1. Yeah, this might be useful for something, honestly. That end, I guess you could make Ancient Fairy Dragon, potentially. A lot of things you can do with this, honestly. Just normal summon Diviner. Grab Illusion of Chaos. But, yeah. If we were going into Centurion combo, that's also an option, because we can just make Auxilla here. If we go through this line, I just need to check real quick to see where this goes. Okay, Auxilia special summon. I'm pretty sure we want to grab stand up, then grabs us, Trudea special summon, grabs Primera is going to then add us a card, which is it'll be the copy of Wake Up special summons a token. Then we can grab, what are we grabbing here? I guess because we already have, okay, we can skip Primus. There's no point in going into Primus. And then we go Wake Up, summon an 8, and we have Mara plus the token to make Crimson Dragon. Then we can grab whatever we want off of that if we're grabbing anything at all. And then we have an Omni Negate off of normal summon Diviner, actually. Which is pretty good, in my opinion. Like, just fairly good, right? Well, that's just something you can do, huh? Okay. And that requires just one Garnet of just running Magician Girl. That's kind of interesting, actually. And then Dark Magician. We can special summon that as well, if that's actually relevant for whatever reason. Not really sure what deck you're playing. I guess, no. Not really useful for Primite, really, huh? If we were playing Primite with this, we have Magician Soul's effect to send cards, but if we have the normal summon the Diviner, it kind of doesn't work with Primite, so probably not Primite. I think Centurion's probably your best bet then, yeah. So you can have a Cosmic Blazar before committing to whatever your other plays are. That's pretty possible. And you also have the Centurion interruptions for next turn as well. That's off of just normal summon Divining, just like an idea. And then, of course, this is actually very searchable if you want to go through the route of using like Vendread. Drytron wouldn't work for this particular line because, you know, the restriction on the Drytron cards would have anti-synergy. We could maybe do something with Megalith in Centurion, actually. Now that I think about it, that's probably kind of doable. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.